Well, good morning, cowpokes, and welcome to Saturday Morning Western Roundup. Today we are going to talk about The Big Country, 1958's William Wyler classic, and Dwight D. Eisenhower's favorite film. He said that he loved this movie more than anything. He used to watch it all the time in the White House. This is a big film. Yeah, it's called The Big Country, obviously, but it's got a big cast. It has the cinematography is big. The music is big. It's a very bold film, but it's amazing it got made at all, I guess, because some of the research I was doing, there was a lot of infighting with William Wyler, the great director, and Gregory Peck and he were both co-producers on this film as well, and they went through 7 screenwriters, and they never were happy with the final script. The money was invested, they had a timetable, and they had to get it done. It's got a great cast. Starts with Gregory Peck, obviously. Gene Simmons, Carol Baker, Charlton Heston, Burl Ives, who won the Academy Award for his performance as Rufus Hennessy. Charles Bickford. Was there ever a more badass, or not really a badass, but just always seemed like an angry dude, Charles Bickford. And a little bit of comic trivia for you. Charles Bickford was the model that John Romita used to draw Captain Stacy, Gwen Stacy's father. So take a look at him and his craggy face next time, and then look at some of Jazzy Johnny's drawings, and you can see the resemblance. And then of course Chuck Connors is in this too. And the basic plot of this film is this dude from the East, who's a sea captain, comes out west to marry this girl he met when they were out back east, back to her land. And at the same time, there's a feud between the two ranches, the Hennessy Ranch and the Terrell Ranch. And it's over water rights, and there's a lot of bad blood there, and so he finds himself in the middle of this. Now everybody thinks Gregory Peck's character, James McKay, is this Eastern dude. He shows up in a bowler hat, and the wild and rowdy Hennessy boys give him a run for his money, kind of a hazing, so to speak. But they don't understand that this is a man who is a captain of ships and a captain of men, and has sailed the seas. And everybody out there, all these Texans, keep telling them it's a big country. Oh, you're going to get lost. You don't understand. This is a big country. And there's this great scene at a coming out party, and this guy walks up to him and says, "Do you ever see anything so big?" And Gregory Peck says, "Yes." "You have what?" "Couple of oceans." And the guy's like, "Well, I declare." This land-bound guy, his perspective on the world is just what he can see out in that horizon. And as someone who's grown up on the ocean, you've never seen anything quite so large as if you've been out at sea, away from land. I just love that scene. That's awesome. I didn't show the trailer like I usually do when we open these things, because the trailer is pretty, it's not very good for its day. But there is a sequence. This is probably one of my favorite scenes in this movie. And it involves the Major, which is Charles Bickford, and his ranch hand, Charlton Heston's character. And they're going to go into the Hennessy Ranch and clean house and get Gene Simmons out, who they think is being held hostage, and in fact she is. But the Major is just he and Hennessy are cut from the same cloth. They both are motivated by hate, just blind hatred for each other. So The major's not going in there really for her. He's going in there to kill all the Hennessy's. And so let's play this sequence, and I'll talk about it in a minute because it's so great.
Come on, Steve. Major, we haven't heard a single shot out of it. Do you suppose my kid could have gotten through?
Well, that's no concern of ours. What's the matter with you? Come on.
This is bound to cost us half our men. Anyway, what if it's not necessary?
Well, what did you expect? A taffy pull? If it was anybody but you, I'd think you were scared.
Suppose he's riding out of there with her right now, and we start a lot of shooting. I'd walk into hell after you, Major. You know that. Not much you could ask. I wouldn't try to do it. I just don't hold with you in this. I just can't do it, Major. I can't.
By damn, you are yellow.
You call me whatever you want. I'm not beating up any more men for you. I'm not running off any more cattle or shooting any more Hennessy's for you. You ride on in there if you want to. I'm finished.
You're finished, all right. I don't need you on this trip. All right, men, mount up. I said mount up. I see. I'm all alone in this. All right. I've been alone before.
Major. Major.
Here comes some of that wonderful soundtrack music. Look at the way this scene is shot. The look on his face, like he expects this. But he won't acknowledge it. He's so proud. That scene kills me every time. I just love that because it touches on one of my favorite themes in movies and in particularly Westerns, and that's loyalty. These are hard men. They're not bad men, although, you know, Bickford comes from a bad place sometimes, but he demands and expects loyalty, and he gets it here. And I love that. I mean, even films like The Wild Bunch, where everybody's a piece of crap, but you follow them along and you root for them because the one thing they have is loyalty to each other. And that's an awesome theme, and I love this love that sequence. And you got to hear a little bit of the Jerome Morose soundtrack, which I think is one of the greatest Western soundtracks ever. It's so great. I guess the William Wyler hated it. You know, I don't know why, but I think it's stirring. It's rousing. There's themes in it that really reflect what's happening on the screen. I think it's a masterpiece, and that particular one, I think that the music there is called "Ride in Blanco Canyon." Is my favorite. It's just the way it builds and builds and builds. The cinematography in here is by a guy named Franz Planer, who Wyler used a bunch of times in Roman Holiday, Breakfast at Tiffany's, and then this wasn't a Wyler film, but 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. If you can catch this on the Blu-ray, the clip I showed was on YouTube, so it's not the greatest definition. But the Blu-ray of this film is magnificent, and the color in the sand and the stone and the rocks and stuff, and it's shot in like 70 millimeter Panavision or something. It's just breathtaking. It's really great. So there you have it. Dwight Eisenhower's favorite film, The Big Country. If you haven't seen it, I think you can watch it on YouTube, or and certainly you can rent it anywhere. But it's a really great, cool Western. So let's say good morning to everybody. Let's see what we got going on here this morning. Good morning, Monster fan. Richard B is here. Rob Fellows is awake in England. Yeehaw. Let's head him up, move him out. Fearless Freep is here. Good morning, all. Welcome to the Roundup. I love all you guys that come up for these great old Westerns. Pop Culture Adventure has seen the pictures of the Chinook comic. It arrived at my fulfillment center yesterday. In fact, after the show this morning, I've got to drive out there and pick up some copies. Then I'm going to come back on. I'm going to live stream later this afternoon with a copy of the book. Sort of like an unboxing, so you guys can see it. Really excited to get my hands on it. I'm sure you guys are too. Nicholas Gear, good morning, Nick. Steve Lowenthal is with us. Good morning. Richard B says, the first time watching Big Country, I liked it. Connor's acting his butt off during the dual death scene. Heston and Peck squaring off, looking like they were illustrated by Howard Pyle. Yeah, there's a sequence there where the conflict has been building between Heston and Peck throughout the movie, and so Peck is going to head back east, but before he does so, he wants to clear the books, and so he shows up at Heston's cabin, and calls him out for the fight that Heston has been itching for the whole time. And the way Wyler filmed this was it's this giant prairie, this big open space. There's nothing in the frame except these two men, and they're all the way off in the distance. And he comes in for close-ups occasionally, but then he moves that camera back again to show the smallness of man in this land and the futility of their conflict and of the violence that they're using to satisfy that conflict. They're like these little ants, going at it in this gigantic piece of land that doesn't give a shit about them or their problems. I've never seen a fight sequence filmed like that, and it's really masterful. Bill Dunleavy, good morning, sir. Oh, Dr. Mass, good morning. He has not seen this one, but it looks great. It is. It is excellent. Chuck Connors is great in this too. This is the movie he made just before he started on The Rifleman, and he looks great in a mustache. He's a big guy, as I mentioned in the Rifleman talk. He was 6'6". Heston was a big guy too. He was 6'3", and Gregory Peck was 6'2". And Peck had to wear lifts so that he appeared as tall as Heston when the two were, nose to nose, and so that at least he could, when he was facing off against Chuck Connors, he had so they could get a little closer to his height. Rhymes with Orange. Happy Saturday. Up early. Good to join you live. Well, good to have you here. Paul Blaise. Good morning, my friend. Good morning. It's Zemansky. Good morning, Ed. George Traveler, seeing Charlton Heston in that type of terrain makes me think of one thing. It's a madhouse, a madhouse. The Planet of the Apes. Good morning, Dan. As you can see, I don't have my green screen behind me, so I didn't get the computer that you sent me or set up in time. So it did come yesterday, so thanks so much for handling that. And next time we do the show, gang, where I have a green screen, so I can project like canyon images or Monument Valley or something like that. Put some cool stuff, or even stills from the movie that we're talking about. So it's gonna, instead of all the clutter back here, it'll be really cool. Heston, always great. I like Charlton Heston. The spine and growth the Heston character shows as compared to his earlier portrayal in the movie is also worthy of mention. Peck, however, is always Peck. Yeah, Peck's character doesn't really grow. He sort of he is what he is that you see from the beginning. Although that isn't entirely fair. He avoids the fights that the Cowboys try to push him into. But at the end, he finally has had enough, and he shows the strength and backbone to everybody of who he was or who he is. The Wild Bunch was the last movie that I saw in the theater at a revival house last December. Oh wow, that's cool. That'd be cool to see on the big screen. Just wondering if you've ever commented on the Oxbow incident. No, that hasn't been on the list yet, but it's an excellent film. Really great. Dr. Mask wants to know what time I'm going live later. I don't know. We got to go get our Christmas tree this morning, and then I got to drive out there. It's about 25, 30-minute drive. And pick it up, then I got to drive back. So I would assume it'll probably be after lunch sometime, maybe 1 o'clock, something like that. Good morning, Keith. Hyper Kaiju says can't go wrong with Heston and Peck. Pop Culture Avengers looking forward to the Shinu unboxing later. Yeah. I can't wait to actually hold it in my hands and see it. I posted a little video of it. I guess this morning that a friend of mine took at the fulfillment center. Let's see if I can pull that up and throw it up here for anybody that hasn't seen it. Okay, let's see. Let's try that. No. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, I can do that. Hold on, because I put it up on YouTube. Let's see here. Arg. Okay, hold on a second here. Hang with me, gang. That's the beer unboxing. Where's my... Gosh darn it, I can't find it. Oh, here we go. It's on my channel. Here we go. Okay. All right, here we go. I found it. It's just a couple seconds long. but you can see the cool. Here we go. You can see the reflection on the spot varnish on the blood there, and the matte finish on the. Isn't that cool? So, yeah. So, can't wait to get my hands on the book. Can't wait to show it to you guys. Oh, Hyper Kaiju wants to know if we have a Star Trek connection in this movie. I couldn't find one. To be honest with you, I couldn't find one. Let me think about that. I don't see one in here. So I'm sorry to let you down. Does this mean you have all the items in stock, the cards, the bookmarks, and stickers, and both covers of the book? So fulfillment will potentially start by January. Yes to the first question, and no, the potential, the fulfillment's going to start next week. I'll be going down there. We have to, our region's still in the orange zone for COVID, so we have to set things up. There's a little bit of logistics to get the people that we need at the fulfillment center, so I can begin signing all the books. I have to sign every book, and I have to, there's some of them I have to do remarks in. But the plan is to start that next week, and then to begin shipping also next week, certainly by the week following. But I really want to begin shipping this coming week. So hopefully you'll have your books before Christmas. Did you do a Shinubru review? I did not. Oh, Dr. Mess, did you do a Shinubru review? Yes, he did. Yes, he did. And he said it is delicious. I concur. Well, Rhymes with Orange said there is Star Trek connections. Hal Needham. Also Alexander Courage. I didn't see Hal Needham listed at all in the, let's see, second unit director. Stunts. Okay, let's see if Hal Needham is listed. No, he's not. No, the two Chucks are Chuck Hayward and Chuck Roberson. That's Hayward and Roberson are Good Chuck and Bad Chuck, and also known as Little Chuck and Big Chuck, because Hayward, Chuck Hayward was a average height guy, very low keyed, and Chuck Roberson was a big man. He was John Wayne's stunt double for many, many years, and I guess he was a hellraiser, so he got the title of Bad Chuck. But he's one of the top stunt guys in the country for many, many years, as was Hal Needham. But I don't see Hal Needham listed here. So also Alexander Courage didn't do the music. It was Morose, Jerome Morose. So I'm not sure if you got that one right, my friend. Chris Daughtry, glad to catch a live stream, Mr. Nolan. I had the pleasure of meeting you at the South Carolina Comic-Con a few years ago. We had a great conversation about the early 80s Batman books and Don Newton. Ah, okay, cool. Yeah, Don Newton's was one of my Batman inspirations when I was figuring out the approach I was going to take on drawing the character. Always loved his work. So, okay, my friends, I think we covered everything here for this film. We're entering and getting close to Christmas. So next Saturday, we're going to do a Christmas Western, if you will. It's the classic John Ford Three Godfathers, which is a Western with a Christ child parable in it. It's a gorgeous film. And if you haven't seen it, take a look at it before we talk about it next Saturday. try and catch the unboxing later on this afternoon. I don't know what time it's going to be. It all depends on when I get back. Next Wednesday, I'm still waiting to hear from a possible guest. If they can't make it, I think what we'll do is I'm going to talk about the work of Jack Pohl, the great cartoonist who was a Playboy cartoonist, but before that he was a comic book guy that illustrated Plastic Man, created and illustrated Plastic Man. So so that's our lineup for the next week. Hope to see you then, and or hope to see you this afternoon, actually. Thanks a lot. Have a great day. Bye-bye.